Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be jumping back into some more Create Above and Beyond. So, welcome back. Of course, guys, we have a lot to go over today, and well, first things first, I was mining. I've been doing a lot of mining, as you can see, and well, I stumbled upon this. Wow. Okay, so this is a mega cave, and well, I have ideas already that are just flowing through my mind of what to do with this. Like, not only is this place full of danger, like, yes, 100% full of danger, this is under my base. Like, and there's a grass block setting here already allowing us to, I don't know why there's a, oh, must be from Enderman. But yeah, we have a grass block, which is pretty awesome. And I mean, I think I have silk touch anyways, which really isn't a big deal, but still having that is pretty nice. But look how big this area is. Yeah. Okay. This is quite a large underground area, which we might end up with some of our builds being underground. And I mean, this right here already is like an amazing place for that. Plus, look at all the ore and stuff that's just lingering. So yeah, I'll definitely make sure to mark this, and we can always come back because this is a place to not only explore, but to potentially build in. Like, wow, this place is massive underground. So like I said, today is going to be a fairly interesting day. We have a lot to sort of get started with automation. There is there's a lot to do. So starting off, I wanted to work on this. So this is the Skystone Mill, and I think if we get to at least this point, we'll be good. And so long as we can work in a recharger, there's a whole step that's going to go along with that. Now this is going to be a big setup all on its own, and it talks about using crafters over here. So I think at first maybe we do this manually. I don't know. We'll figure out this part manually because we can't do it yet until we have crafters. And crafters are going to be something that are done after we get this component down here. Or getting more of them, right? Because we've already technically made them manually this, but we definitely need to get to here. So lots of work, lots of work. So Skystone Mill, that is going to involve a mixer. I'm already going to set myself up 2 mixers because I know we're going to need 2 mixers down the road. We're also going to need 2 basins. That's definitely going to be needed as well. I already have myself my millstone made up because we need at least 1 millstone here, and it's going to be interesting to be, and I tested this out. That's why I made the millstone. Skystone, I thought if you put it in here, it just constantly generates, but no, what it does is it generates skystone dust and then goes ahead and drops out the skystone. So we get 2 things as a product, and then we need to get the skystone back into the system. So that's going to be a fun little thing that we have to work around and set up. I also went ahead and put up 2 windmills over here because we are going to be moving over here to hopefully spread things out so we don't have everything all in one area. That's just going to cause lag. The more we have in one space, the more lag. It's just going to happen overall. And eventually I want to get my storage set up a little bit better. This is getting really tiresome going back and forth in here. Another thing we're eventually going to need is this. Yeah, an Oculus accumulator. So we have that. Also, I have, since I went to the Nether last episode, I have tons of cobalt. Like, we have so much cobalt, and I can always go back and get more because there was just tons of it there. And the cobalt is really nice because we can take things like barrels, for example, and make the largest barrel that we have available to us. 81 slots in these barrels. So I'm pretty sure we can fit just about, in all 4 of these barrels, we can fit just about everything we have over here in these. And there's a thing that we could eventually get into that could be some sort of early inventory storage system using fancy pipes, but that's something we'll have to get into later. And it's a little bit, it's definitely more old school as far as like you have to request your items and stuff. So we'll see about getting into that. But first, let's go ahead and see if we can't get this millstone automated and allow us to get this millstone and get this dust sent over. And we also needed that Oculus accumulator, by the way, because we're going to need to pump water into here because skystone dust and water is what's going to eventually make that volatile sky solution. So this stuff needs water and also needs 4 skystone dust. So let's see if we can't set this up. And first of all, get this millstone automated. So here's my plan for this. We have the mill. I have this. I can go ahead and lock down behind here. And now what the plan is to have a conveyor belt set up. And then of course we use our andesite funnel. That is going to suck the item in that is locked in here because only this item can go in. Of course, it's getting dark on me. And then I am going to have an andesite funnel that is going to be pulling items into the millstone. And so we should be able to do this and then have this shooting up items that fall through there. So this should hopefully be a solution to this. This right here is basically creating a filter for us. It looks funny, but I think it will work. There is the possibility of it getting stuck and not working, but I think this is going to do the job. And so we'll have our conveyor belt start here. This is simply automated, and the only thing we should be getting out of this is skystone dust. So we should be able to set it up with a mixer really, really easy over here. So now that I have the aqueous accumulator set up, I just have to basically put water here. We should be able to successfully pump water directly into this. And so we have our conveyor belts running here to here, here to here. This needs to be, once it starts spinning this way, I think things will change. Also, I need to put a funnel here, and then this will be the output. Perfect. And then we just store the output for right now. Because our output's going to be a fluid, right? So no, we actually need, so if our output is going to be a fluid, we don't need a conveyor belt system here. We need to get this fluid out of here, and to do that is going to be using a smart fluid pipe, because we do not want to be pulling water out of this. So we'll use a smart fluid pipe, and then we'll pipe this to our next setup, which I believe is going to be over here. So I think I want to set this up all in one go, and that's going to also involve this stuff, which is going to be destabilized redstone. So for the next step, things get a little bit more complicated because we're going to be introducing power, believe it or not. But not a lot, like not a lot. It's not a crazy amount of power that's going to be needed for this. And I'm hoping that it directly charges without the need of like converting the power, because this is technically applied to logistics and it uses its own power type, unless that's been changed. So we'll actually find out. So let's go ahead and put this in. We'll get ourselves a magmatic dynamo. And I want to go ahead and put an upgrade. I believe we can go ahead and make a couple of upgrades. And I'm going to go ahead and make one for the actual dynamo, and another one for this aqueous accumulator that we're using, because I don't know if this is going to be able to provide enough water for our future tasks. Now I do plan on having a separate assembly line for water, and it might end up going over here. But what I can do is I can go ahead and go, hey, boom. Now it actually produces water a bit faster, which is really nice. Also, the magmatic dynamo will accept that. It also is going to need lava, and then this is going to, of course, increase it. It does ×2. So this already has a nice output of 80 RF versus, I believe, 40. And yeah, it's going to run a lot better. This actually can produce quite a bit of power. But like I said, I just don't think we're going to need a whole bunch of power. We'll find out. I really have to make this. So what do we need in order to make Fluix crystals? Because that's the fun stuff. So this is the reason why we went to the nether last episode. So nether quartz, redstone dust, and then we also need charged Certus quartz. So at least one charged Certus quartz is all we need. And thankfully I went mining a bit into this episode to make sure that we had that one thing. Of course, I ended up gathering way more than that. But right here, so I have at least one charged Certus, one redstone, and then we also need some quartz, which we have down here. This honestly needs to go in this chest. And there we go. And now all we need is a puddle of water. Where are we going to find that? I mean, oh, hey, look. Hey, here's a puddle of water. So I toss this down in there. Give it a moment. So long as they don't actually pick it up. I kind of wanted to watch it happen. Oh, This is always the hard part, right? Is actually getting it all in at once. I'll just leave it. We can't see it. It happened. It did the thing. And there we go. We have flux crystals. All right, let's go ahead and craft this and see what exactly we're going to need. This is going to require an andesite machine. And then we apply that. And now we have a charger. So what we can do with the charger is we can go ahead and charge up regular Certus quartz. Now at the moment, this is actually going to be renewable. So all we really need is one Certus quartz, but I want to kind of check and see what the level is of power consumption and how quick this is going to, and if it's going to even work. So without some sort of converter. Because I do know Applied Energistics, it does its own thing, right? It uses its own power, or used to. I don't think I've played with it in this version. So here we go. This now has lava in it. It's starting to build up some power. We'll now see that it has some power in here. And I believe it's efficient enough to stop consuming power. Like stop consuming lava once it has completely filled up. So there we go. And, or maybe not. Maybe it does lose 8 RF per tick. I don't actually know. So let's hook this up. Is this going to receive power? Ooh, so there's an input and output. I believe the top is an input and the bottom is an output. And it's very specific in that manner. So if I was to set up a chute just to test this out, I'm almost positive the chute won't output until the item is charged. So do I have a chute laying around? I do. So let's test that out. Just have a random chute and that should just drop the item. And let's see. We put this in here. Looks like some stuff happened. I notice it's not disappearing or anything. But I can't tell if it's actually charging or not. That is another issue. Okay, so I'm almost positive this is my problem. So this needs to be set up and done this way, which makes it a little bit more complicated. This has to be charged from the bottom. And so it is now fully charged and we have ourselves a piece of charged. Okay. So this gets placed in there. It's going to take a second and it's going to charge. Okay. But now we need to filter. How am I going to do this? Okay, this is going to be way easier than I thought, because if I put the item in, the output doesn't get spit out until it's done charging. Oh, that is so much better. And so all I have to do now is I have to receive this as a output, and the bad item, I just have to receive it as an output and then just get it back in here and route it back through. So I think this is going to work, and all we really need is one. So basically I have the mechanical mixer, and the way it seems is its output, its item output, is actually going to be the one that is uncharged. So all I have to do is throw it in here to be charged. Once it's fully charged, it gets output onto the belt and then gets routed right back inside itself. And then we are just going to have our destabilized redstone, which is going to be right here, that we can use for all the other projects moving forward. So at the moment I am testing some things out. So all I have running right now is my pumps, but I wanted to see this because it shows right here that this is going to require 4 steps each. And so I don't know if I put one of these in. Oh, it's going to go through each one. Ah, okay. So we would need some sort of 4-step process to send this through over and over again. Yeah, man, that would get rough. Okay, so we need 4 of these, and we need to spread this out a little bit more, and then we need to create a loop for these so that way they loop back, and the only one that finally gets released is going to be the finished product. But man, how am I going to do that? So in theory, this should work. Let me go ahead and kind of explain it the best I can. So the items go into this chest. We also have a return chest here that is going to suck up items like this. So any item that lands here is going to get put back in here. So the idea is items get pushed out. They're going to hit the 4 spouts right here. they're going to go through their first stage, and then only when they've hit their final stage. So really, I need to go ahead and I get this hooked up to test this out, because to be able to set the filter, I need this Certus Quartz seed to have done this the appropriate amount of times. But basically, if I set the filter, then this will be locked to the top tier, and it will suck the item out. So here's the thing. If they don't match this, then they'll end up on this belt line, and then they'll just route their way back and then go through this again, and that will be their next stage, and then vice versa, so on and so forth, until all of them are done. And I hope this works. This may be overcomplicated, but once this is filtered, then all we got to do is just run a belt here to here, and that's it. So let me get my shafts. By the way, this backpack has become, oh, so nice. Even though it's small right now, it still beats like everything else. So I'm able to literally have this set up. All right, and then we just route that there, and we're good. So now I just got to get power routed to everything, and just get stuff running, and also getting our fluid pipes hooked to it. Oh my gosh, I think I'm I think I'm actually a genius. Believe it or not, at least I feel like I am. I don't know if I have this spinning. I mean, this is a belt. Will an item automatically get pulled out of here into this if it's set up? Oh, I need to test this out. Let's go ahead and get this temporarily expanded over here, because I need this hooked in. And what I'm using is an andesite tunnel. And if you don't know what that is, let's see, this actually needs to be flipped. So let's use a vertical. Oh boy. And then use a regular. Okay. So the idea behind this, the andesite tunnel does a weird thing. It takes an item, it takes like a stack of items, right? Or 2 items, and it only gives 1 out, and the rest goes across the belt. So if I have another belt line hooked here, what should happen is if there are 2 in here, it'll split out and should question mark, should give me 1 over here, 1 this way. Now it's really weird with the andesite funnel, because I mean, it only does 1, but we got to test this out. I've got to lock this. The problem is if it happens too fast. Let's do some testing. So at this point, it's coming around for its last one. There should be 2 now in here, I believe. At least that's what should be. Let's see. Yes, there's 2. So there's 2 in there. Okay, so what I'm seeing is this andesite tunnel does not pull, so we still need an andesite funnel. And so I'm going to have to move this setup here with the pipe and everything. We're going to leave this, and then this needs to be moved. But we've got to give ourselves a little bit more room here, because the reason why I want to do this and split at least 1 is simply because this setup right here can technically auto-regenerate itself. So, which seems weird, because normally when this is finished, right, we can't recrush it back into Certus Quartz dust. So we could technically have an infinite amount of these running back and forth, so long as we can split 1 off. And so using the same setup that we have over here that's automating our, what is it called? All of our Skystone, this setup should work the same here. So we basically will have an infinite supply, and I'm thinking I don't even need to move this, because what if I just take 2 andesite funnels and I put 1 here and 1 here, then they should technically split. Like, I don't know how often it's going to split, but they definitely should split. So let's go ahead. I'll toss this here. And I noticed it went down that line first, but is it round robin? Does it just not know? I mean, so it went this way both times. This is where I think I'm going to have to set up something similar, something different. Well, at this point, I am manually crafting rose quartz. So that way I can go ahead and produce these because I need just one brass thing. I need a brass funnel. That's all I need. So with this going manual, I think this is the only thing that I'm needing that is manual. And so I'll just go ahead and throw that over here. And once we have the brass funnel, making rose quartz is 100% automated, and then all we need to do is basically feed rose quartz into a system that's like this, that's connected to some sort of smelter, that's connected to this, and we have full automation over here. And then we'll basically have these fully automated so long as we're supplying them with kinetic mechanisms. That's what's up, right? That's the awesome sauce right here. So we are almost done with this section. So right here is going to manually craft the tier 2 kinetics. And like I said, I just need a funnel or a tunnel. So I just need a brass tunnel, and a brass tunnel is fantastic on what it can do. I already have brass casings available to be made. We're basically ready. So I'm going to show you once I get them made. And just like that, we take our brass casings, making ourselves a brass machine. And then we put this in a saw because that's what we need, right? We just need that one simple thing, which is a brass tunnel. Oh, it gives us 4. Oh, that's so nice. Okay. Well, the fact that we have 4 of them is even better, but we really only need 1. And that's because this can do round robining on conveyor lines. So at the moment, I do have a conveyor line running backwards. How did this end up getting run backwards? I'm actually kind of confused by this. I thought this was running the right way. Something's flipped on me. This is running this way. Oh, I think it's one of these ended up getting flipped back here. Okay, so after that huge mess, I believe I have this now figured out. But yeah, so all we're going to do is take a brass tunnel and slap that here, and then go on top with our wrench. And we need to tell this, hey, let's see, we have multiple outputs available, split, or split. Let's do round robin. So I'm going to have the multiple outputs round robin. And if you notice, if I take these 2 here and I put them inside, watch, one gets split and then one goes here. That's exactly what we want, because what we want is this to be taken up and refocused. As you can see, it gets ground. Then it gets lined up back here. Oh, wait. No, there's another step. We need to take this and we need to combine this with sand. Oh, that's the only thing that's going to make this fully automated, is having sand. Woo, I can tell you, my goodness, things are getting a little out of hand. So I went ahead and made a few more cogs, and I'm assuming I can just cog this up here. We just got rows and rows of cogs. Okay. Oh, let's pick those up. Those don't need to go in there. They'll just end up looping forever. Anyways, so yeah, with that done, you can see we now have our processes working. Oh, I can almost turn everything on. All I have to do is get the filters for the fluids done, and I can turn these things on. Honestly, let's go ahead and get this turned on. All I have to do is put the first piece of Skystone in there, and this whole contraption should be good. Let's get our wrench, and all I gotta do is toss this. Oh man, toss that in there. Let's get a little bit closer. Toss this in there. And now we should have a system that is automatically working. And once we get 4 of these in here and get them mixed up, I have to grab a bucket of it out and then apply it to this filter. Actually, this doesn't need a filter, does it? Because this is always going to be this fluid. No, wait, no, this receives water too, doesn't it? Ah, yeah, this receives water. So I need an entire bucket full of full worth of this stuff. How much is that? That's let's see. It makes so two separate routes of this. So as soon as it does its next like flush, I should be able to get all the filters for everything. So now as far as this one goes, I should be able to just drop a piece of charged in here. I know this is getting like incredibly cramped. I throw a piece of charged in there, and then that gets output back out, gets charged. When it's charged, it goes back in and repeats the process. All right, and then once I have enough to stabilized in here, I don't know how much it actually makes. Destabilized is under this mode. So it's done 3 processes now. So 1 more process and we'll have a whole bucket full. Oh, there it is. It's floating in there. Maybe we don't have enough of the other material yet. Oh, no, we do. Okay. So there's my fluid filter there, and I should be able to, no, I can't put that back in. So I'll keep that for later. And all I have to do now is hook this up. Make sure that's pumping in the right direction. Oh boy. When everything is like going your way, like finally doing the thing it's supposed to do. There it is, right there. And then I just need to hook a cog here. And the whole system's overstressed. No way. No way. Well, time for another wheel. And I've done it. The next day, all I did was add a little bit more onto our windmills, and we now have the stress capacity to complete this. So now I know if I ever basically run into that issue again, that I can just add to the windmills. By the way, oh, I have, yeah, that needs to not be in there. By the way, this right here is how I'm basically automating this. So now we have basically full automation so long as I have sand. So this is generating sand, and it's not the greatest way to generate sand, but for now, this whole setup is generating polished rose quartz. It should be doing it at like 100% rate, right? It should be working. Oh, because this shut off. Because that shut off, I think something happened here. I'm going to have to go back through and just make sure, because I think this had stopped. So after a few more minutes of me just overlooking everything, making sure everything is flowing right. Yeah, this is actually working. We now have 9 quartz in there. It's not super fast, but it is producing, and it's all running on its own. Like, that's what matters. It's all running on its own. So this saves me on quartz, and it also saves me on redstone. Now the only thing I have to do is just to basically, once I have a bunch collected, is to just throw it over here, and we have it semi-automated. But the goal is, of course, to get it fully automated. Well, guys, what a crazy contraption that we have built behind us. And I don't even know how it could get any better, honestly, without using like carts and a lot more area. It is actually very compact, which I kind of like. But anyways, guys, of course, it's the end of the episode, and I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is going to be a huge thanks over to SuperPig08. Thank you so much for your amazing support over on the Discord, absolutely going above and beyond and becoming a Discord premium member. I really do appreciate it. And of course, guys, as always, if you're interested in becoming a Discord member, you can join by going to discord.gg/ChosenArchitect and joining our awesome partner community over there. If you got any questions related to all kinds of anything, Minecraft or whatever, of course, we can help you answer it there. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. You guys know how to click that subscribe button, and if you haven't already, well, I mean, maybe you don't. It's literally just down there. And while you're at it, if you haven't rang the notification bell, you might want to do that so you can stay up to date and be the first one to comment. Yeah, because that's what everybody likes to do, right? Be the first one to comment. Anyways, guys, of course, I'll see you in the next one, and as always, thanks for watching.